of the Obie Ward and Casino Award-winning Vampire Cowboys Theater Company in New York City. He is known for his multimedia, pop culture, stage violence, and puppetry, and has done numerous plays such as Viet Gone and Soul Samurai. This is some visual research on the 90s, kind of playing into what we would see in the day-to-day life because it is based in 1995. This is visual research on Dungeons and Dragons because that is the other alternate universe that they exist in. So I looked up some board games, some of the classic backgrounds that you would maybe see. I also did visual research on Athens, Ohio, because that is where the play takes place. This is the scene breakdown. I'm going to skim through the analysis questions, but I picked symbolism or postmodernism to reflect the style of this play. I think that it should be done on a proscenium stage. It is 1995. Agnes wants to feel close to Tilly. They live in a democracy. Religion does not show up much in this play. Tilly is going through an identity struggle with her sexual identity. We get a background of who Agnes and Tilly are and how Tilly dies in the car accident before the play began. Agnes is faced with the death of her younger sister, Tilly, and she starts to play Tilly's Dungeons and Dragons module to feel closer to her, as well as learn to fight her monsters. The main themes that I found were youth, relationships with family, grief, and loss through comedy. This is my set design research for scene 3. I kind of looked up, Blockbuster, old comic book store, old game consoles, stuff like that. For scene 7, I looked up fantasy worlds, fantasy characters, kind of what you would see in this alternate universe. These are my floor plans when I originally thought that it was going to be structured walls. This is my composite GP with the change to triangles so that I could shift between scenes more efficiently. These are my white models. These are my front elevations. My orthographic projection of my bookshelf in scene 3. You can see the side, back, and front. My scene 3 color model. As you can see, I used brick for the walls, kind of giving it that old time feel, kind of rundown. This is my scene 7 color model. In the forest, I gave them a log to sit on. This is my scene 3 lighting mood board. I thought neon, old 90s, kind of gloomy, dark, fluorescent would be most appropriate. Again, these are some of the practical lights that I would use. Scene 7 to me was kind of mystical, kind of eerie, and I used vibrant but dark colors. And these are some of the practical lights using a gobo to project a foresty scene on the floor, as well as fog lights. Lighting for scene 3 is going to resemble a slightly worn down store. There will be 1 or 2 fluorescent lights, so it's cold but dim. I decided to add some neon lights because it goes with the 90s vibe, as well as a game store. I want these lights to make the audience feel like they just walked into a little video game store on the corner. Lighting for scene 7 is also very eerie, dark, but vibrant. There will be a gobo projection of tree branches and little fairy lights on the floor. The lights in the background will consist of green, purple, white, and blue palette and will fade into one another as they move within the forest. And the addition of fog lights will also add to the suspense and distinction between the real world and fantasy world. So this is kind of my concept. I thought that this play was super interesting because it's a concept I have never thought of. While researching this production and the background, I found that there wasn't a ton of resources that had ample amount of information about Kui and his background, as well as previous productions. My aha moment was thinking about this play in a logistic way and having to figure out what stage design style was most fitting. I personally picked symbolism or postmodernism because I felt like this play transcended through many realities, and it would be fitting to have a non-traditional style to fully express that. Overall, I found this project to really challenge my ability to put together everything, and I've learned in order to fully grasp and answer the questions, research, and breakdown. So I definitely feel like I have reached my potential. Thank you.
Okay, so Isabella, So please add the periectoid
Okay.
in a floor plan, the term, so that we know that you know what is it you're doing. Also, get the, what else I told you? A couple things. One is periectoid. The other is orthographic projection. You really need to set it up, and I'll show the example today, just to refresh your memory. You have to fix that. And the rest is pretty good.
Thank
Okay,
you.
so guys, I don't see anybody, but how was this for you? Did you understand? I mean, you're on the same kind of train thought in terms of your final, because this is our last class, so we're not going to see each other until December 2nd, and December 1st by midnight is time to turn in your final presentation. So I wanted to share Isabel is ahead of the schedule, which is good. Just this couple things, you know, to rework it. So I'm sure that's clear. Okay. So let's move on. I want to show you an example what was due today, and some of you sent it, some of you didn't. It's the orthographic projection. Oh yeah, Isabel, one more thing. Get the thin Sharpie and kind of outline the, oh guys, I'm so sorry. The doctor is calling me. Hold on a second. Okay, so guys, my sound was, something is breaking up. I don't know. Can you hear me now? Okay, good. So this is an example of orthogonal orthographic projection. So counter decks, front view, side view, top view. Please have the little cross in between dividing, and all the objects needs to be on the same plane. And then have an image of your object, and then the box that it gives you information on the scale and the drafting. And then see the front elevation, scene 2, and then scene 1, done with the ruler, and then thicker line is with the Sharpie or the 1-point marker. So in any case, so those two are due today, but you can incorporate them later in your presentation. Okay, is this clear? Okay, so I don't know if guys, can you hear me? Because I was not able to hear, and there was like some buzzing sound. I just want to comment on a couple things. One, please remember to have one image of one scene of the final model. Okay. Chantal, can you hear me? Some of you did wonderful
Yes, I can.
job, but just when you're doing the final presentation, just have one image of one scene per slide. You can include other images later, but you want to make like the really strong point, and so that the design is visible. Okay, so just please remember that it's a couple of you still are having like smaller images next to it, and this is good as a way of showing the process or possibilities. But to make a really strong point, you have to have one single image. Okay, and then Daniel and Jillian, guys, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, you made a great progress. On one thing though, you really need to add to the back wall, because you have to understand this is the opening. The stage opening is like a landscape. It's not this. Okay, so if you have it like a portrait with the masking on the side, this will create a problem with the visibility if you're in the audience. There is a reason why the stage is this way. Okay, so please extend the sides of your walls and then add the masking, so that you keep still this format, because all the examples that we share were really clearly landscape direction. Okay, does that make sense?
Yeah, I got it.
Daniel,
Yeah.
you got it too? Okay. Those are the small notes from what I had seen so far from the examples that you guys sent me. I think everybody is in relatively good place before the December 1st. So I'll trust you to do the rest of the job well and still turn in your paper. I assume everybody that's here today did the Pecha Kucha presentation, correct? Right? So nothing is missing. We're really on the mark in terms of like what needs to get done. I'm going to ask you if you have any questions that we need to share right now, or if you want to stay with me online to discuss with me in one-on-one or smaller group right now, stay there. May I see you just to say goodbye, because I want to wish you a very happy Thanksgiving and to have like fun as much as you can, eating, sharing, and distancing as you're sharing. I don't know, it's kind of weird, but it's an odd time that we live in. And guys, if I will be in recovery, so hopefully everything will be okay, and I'll see you on December 2nd. Okay, and before that, just send me the recorded assignment and all the DJ pieces that are missing, or okay. So thank you. and I'll see you soon. Have fun, okay? All right.
Thank you.
Bye, guys.
Thank you.
Bye.